What is up, guys? It is Slick or Slickmoff here, back again with another video, and have a huge video for you today. So Gotham Knights, the official Twitter account, has posted for the first time in a year. I mean, they've posted a couple of things here and there, but I mean, they've posted their first announcement slash graphic slash bit of information since DC FanDome of 2020, which was on August 22nd. So we're more than a year past DC FanDome, and they've made their first press release since then. And this press release has featured an image that you can see right here of Talon in Gotham Knights. And the interesting thing is you can see in the response from the voice actor of Nightwing. And he said, looks very familiar, but how so? Something like that. You can read. And I think this is really interesting because obviously what he's teasing and playing into here is the fact that we don't know who Talon is. And obviously I quote tweeted this, being the asshole that I am, and teased that it might be Batman. And many other people seem to agree and put those similar comments underneath his thread. And I think it's interesting because so many of us since the beginning have teased or sort of hoped or dreaded the fact that Bruce Wayne very well may be a Talon in the game. And for so many fans, myself included, it's difficult to fathom how you would create a universe, a new universe around the Bat family and not feature Batman in it. And that is exactly what WB Montreal has set out to do. And for the record, I will say that if Batman is not in the game, I would be okay with it. You know, I love all four of the characters that are starring the game, and I don't see a need to feature Batman. With that being said, many people have asked me my opinion. My preference is for Batman to be in the game in some capacity, whether that be as a Talon, whether that be being brought back by the Lazarus Pit, or who knows how. And maybe it is something like that, where it's Bruce Wayne, but he's being mind controlled, or he's being brought back via the Lazarus Pit, so he's not, quite right in the head. So I don't know. I think that there are many possibilities, but here's the one thing that I'll just throw at you, is that I think that at this point, with this voice actor teeing up the mystery of who the Talon is, which I think I'm going to predict, on DC FanDome 2021 in 45 days, they're going to really lean into this and tease in the trailer, just like they kind of did with Arkham Knight, and kind of say, like, I don't know, who's the Arkham Knight? Who do you think it's going to be? I don't know. And then in that case, it was quite obvious. And obviously in the installment into the Arkham franchise just before that, Arkham Origins in 2013, they actually had kind of set up this Black Mask mystery as well, where it turned out to be the Joker, and it was the whole bait and switch, fake Joker gag part 2, LOL, whatever. And fans didn't take super kindly to that. It's interesting because when that happened, a lot of fans did like it, and they're like, that's so cool, the Joker's back. And now sort of the editorialization of that after the fact, in my view, has been all fans saying that it sucks and they hated it. But again, that wasn't necessarily the reaction at the time. If you go back and watch YouTubers and live streamers when they were playing the game, when that happened, everybody was like, oh my God, I'm so mind blown, I didn't predict. But then like years later, everybody's like, oh, I knew that was coming. Oh, I saw that coming. And I was like, okay, you really didn't, but okay. But I think it's interesting because the thing with the Red Hood reveal and situation is that they were teeing very heavily into the fact that there was going to be a surprise reveal in Batman Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Origins, they kept it under wraps and they didn't want you to know anything about it. But here, once again, they're leaning heavily into this, and they're going to start promoting, like, the Talon is somebody. He's not just a regular guy. He looks familiar. Where do I recognize him from? Okay, I think we've worked with him in the past, or he is Bruce Wayne, or he's Alfred, or he's Jim Gordon, or I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But I think that is the direction that they're going with the story. And it almost seems to me, this is my take on this, is that if they're leaning into this in the marketing campaign, it almost is too obvious to be Bruce Wayne. It's almost impossible for Bruce Wayne to be Talon because it is just so obvious. Like, it's who we all would think would be the Talon, right? Like, it's just like when Arkham Knight took off the mask and it was Jason Todd. And nobody was surprised. Nobody. Everybody knew it was coming. So they built up this whole thing in the game of, like, who's the Arkham Knight? I don't know. Do you know who the Arkham Knight is? Do you know the Arkham? Like, we're all just unpacking this mystery, and all the fans, like, we're all just playing the game and like, okay, this is definitely Jason Todd, right? Like, I'm pretty sure this is Jason Todd, but we'll keep playing. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me. And then, we get 2/3 through the game and it's like, holy shit, it's Jason Todd. He's the Arkham Knight. Who could have guessed? And we're all just like, all of us, we all knew it. So I don't know. Like, part of me is thinking, are they going to do the same thing? Are they going to be like, okay, guys, wait. So here's the thing. There's this guy, Talon, right? He's a part of the Court of Owls, and he's evil, but it's Bruce Wayne. He's not actually dead. Didn't you guys not see that coming? And then we're just like, we totally saw that coming. So I don't know. The honest answer is, even if I'm not surprised and I've already predicted the plot twist of the game, which I find to be unlikely, because you have to understand that there are writers who spend years of their life crafting the story of this game. And I don't mean to demean them in any way. If the plot twist is that it's Batman, we're all going to be... Here's the thing. From a marketing perspective, if rumors... Gotham Knights inherently is going to have less marketing appeal than a game like Batman Arkham City or Batman Arkham Knight, for obvious reasons, insofar as Batman's not leading the game. They announced to you in the first frame of the trailer that Batman's not in it. Okay. From a marketing perspective, that's not a good idea to do. Because Batman is one of the most popular fictional characters ever created in human history. He is highly revered and has consistently driven incredible amounts of revenue to every single project he has touched, whether that be movies and film, did the same thing. Video games, television, you get the point. So that means that they're clearly committing to this vision of it being a Gotham Knights game with his cast of heroes underneath him, but not Batman himself. But the question still remains, why would they elect to not use Batman, and how likely is it that they exclude him altogether? Again, to me, I look at the parallels between Origins and Night, which are separate games, not in the same universe, totally separate comparison, but I draw that comparison only to say that I think they've learned from Arkham Knight that a plot twist that is not really a plot twist that we all see coming is kind of just pointless. Like, the Arkham Knight reveal was universally panned. You will not find many people who were like, I love that. I did not see that coming. Jason Todd, who could have guessed that, And I think that the reveal, because they built it up the whole game and in the marketing campaign and promo, that it was a secret and a mystery, that it was very disappointing when the mystery was just a comic book that we had already read. We've already read Under the Red Hood. The movie's great. The comic book is great. Like, why did you make it a surprise? You should have just told us that it was him, right? And in this case, it's a slightly different situation, but I think that there are parallels. Insofar as I think that fans would be upset if the main plot twist of the game is that Bruce Wayne is Talon and was Talon all along or whatever, because it's just kind of obvious. It's like the game opens up and Bruce Wayne is dead, and then 2/3 through the game we're going to be told he's actually alive. It's like, no shit, obviously, I knew that was coming. So they insist over and over that Batman Bruce Wayne is dead, that he's 100% dead. But here's the thing. In Batman Arkham Knight, we were told that the Arkham Knight is an original character. We asked, hey, is this like somebody that we've seen before in the Batman universe? They're like, no, it's an original character. And then later, we asked them and we're like, hey, so about that, Jason Todd is not an original character. He's existed for decades in the comics, television shows, not really movies, but television, etc. And they're like, yeah, but we didn't lie, though, because he's original. Have you ever heard of the Arkham Knight before we created him? And that's like, that's the equivalent of like putting Batman in a fox mask and being like, look, we created Foxman. It's Foxman. This is a new original character. And then we're all like, wait, isn't this just Batman with a fox like helmet on? And they're like, no, it's original. New. We just created it 5 seconds ago. Totally original. And then we're like, but that's Bruce Wayne. I see some parallels here that I think at this point, if they're really playing up this whole thing of like, who is the Talon? He looks familiar. I recognize him. I find it, I would be shocked if it's Bruce Wayne. Honestly, I think it's too predictable. I just think it's too predictable. It's already on the tip of our tongue. We've already completed the punchline before they've even set up the joke, right? And it's tricky because I kind of want that to be the story. I think that would be sick. I think it'd be really cool. Like if Bruce Wayne is a Talon, and it makes sense too because Bruce Wayne is a rich ass motherfucker, and the Court of Owls, you got to be rich, okay? And you've got to be kind of a douchebag to be a part of those guys. And he fits the bill perfectly. He's a douchebag, super rich, But, you know, he's kind of got a heart of gold, so that's his problem. So they probably aren't a huge fan. That's why they had to put him in the Lazarus pit. That's why they had to, you know, brainwash him and put him in those hanging little cell things. Whatever. So this is all just speculation, but I do think it's interesting that the cast is teasing this, and we'll see on the 15th if there's any other marketing material that's teeing this up, and I'm super excited to see more from the game. So see you guys in 45 days. I'll be live streaming DC FanDome, live streaming my reaction. Be there. Don't miss it. See you guys then.